Greg back again. I'm going to tie a Rainbow Warrior. It's a pattern by a gentleman by the name of Egan. It's a great little pattern. It could be primarily a little Baetis or a mayfly nymph. We're going to put on this particular one a little mercury bead, which is a silver lined clear bead for some sparkle up front. You can also change it up a little bit and put a 2mm tungsten bead or whatever size you're going to tie. You can go up a size. The hook on this is a 2487. If you want to tie them in bigger sizes with bigger beads, I'd probably switch it up to a 2457. A little heavier, stouter hook. First thing we're going to do is tie on some red thread. Today I'm going to use this new Vivas 16-aught, which is just great little fine barbed thread, I should say diameter thread. I'm going to bring that right back down to where the bend starts to go down. For the tail, we're going to use some pheasant tail fibers. We'll just grab about 5 pieces here. Normally what I like to do is pull these so that they are perpendicular to the stem. Then I grab the stem and I can just pull that right off. By doing that, all those tips are going to be even for us. Make my measurement, how long I want to make these. Start over here. Sometimes the more you mess with material, the gets away from you. So you should just go with what you got most of the time. There's one. Okay, just going to lay that at a 45-degree angle, make a little soft wrap. My second wrap will come right over, bring those all right onto the top, and then I can adjust those to length if I'm a little bit off, which I was. Then I can bring this whole bundle right back up. Tie that in. At this point, I'm going to readjust my hook in the vise so it's a little easier to work with. Next piece I'm going to put in here some red wire, usually about an extra small diameter. Tie that in on my side of the hook. Bring that down to the tail. Quickly bring that back up. And I'm going to grab some pearl tinsel. This is flat. It's a size medium. You could also use a size small for this as well. I think would work just as well. The medium is just going to take a little fewer wraps. But on smaller flies it would make a little slender, more of a slender body too. So I'm just going to tie this in just like I did the wire. Bring this right back down to the tail. Then I'm going to advance my thread back forward. At this point, if I want to create a little tapered carrot-shaped body, I can do that. Make it as fat or as skinny as I'd like it. Grab this flash, what I'm going to do is wrap that forward over the thread. That's what gives this fly this little red hue to it. It's the red thread coming through that pearl tinsel. Then with my wire, I can just rib this right through the fly, maybe about 4 or 5 wraps, giving it a little bit extra durability. I think the commercially tied flies don't have that piece in there, but I would always do that on mine. Now for this next piece, we're going to do a little wing case, and it's going to be the same material as the body, just to show you that, but I'm going to go up a size large for this little wing case. We'll just cover this thorax a little bit better. Let's place that on top of the hook. I'm going to come back a little bit, so I don't want to have any gaps in my fly. And then the thorax is a material called sow scud, and the color for this is actually a rainbow. And if you look at this here, kind of show you this label where you can see the actual color. And this dubbing has all different hues to it. It's got a little bit of red in there, grays, some golds, a little bit of blue. It's just a beautiful light-catching material. What I'm doing here is I'm just going to pull some of these fibers out of the package. I'm going to kind of pull and stack them, kind of get all those little balls out from sitting into the package and get everything kind of going in the right direction. Dub that onto the thread. Don't have to be quite as careful as I have been on some of the other flies where we're creating really small bodies. And then I'm going to start right behind the bead of the hook, come backwards to where the wing case is, building myself a little bit of a thorax. And I can pull this wing case right over the top. At this point I always check to make sure it's on top of the hook. Tie that in. Fold it back. A couple more wraps on top of that to really secure that in. Then I'm going to whip finish right behind this bead. Tighten this up. Come in with my wing case. I can just make a little bit of one little snip on my side, and it'll pop right off. And that is the Rainbow Warrior. Great little pattern.